Hey guys, Dr. Chris here, back with video number 3 in your immunity series. So we've talked about the anatomy or the location of the immune system. We've talked about things that weaken the immune system. Now we're going to talk about 5 things that strengthen the immune system. So if there are things that weaken it, surely there must be things that strengthen the immune system, right? That's what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to get right into the meat and potatoes of it and start off. And like I said on the previous video, some of these are just the opposite or reverse of the things that weaken it. So let's start with one of the biggies, diet. A diet full of inflammatory foods will weaken your immune system. So a diet that's full of good nutrient-dense foods will strengthen it. So we are proponents and advocates of a paleo diet. If you've looked into paleo or you've had some conceptions about paleo, a lot of people think it's just like eating a bunch of bacon and lard. It's not entirely true at all. Sure, those things can fit into a paleo diet, but we eat a lot of vegetables. Like there's a popular paleo hashtag that says more vegetables than a vegetarian, because we do eat a lot of fresh veggies. If you don't know about the paleo diet, look it up, Google it. I'll give you it in a nutshell. It's whatever you could hunt and gather. So, could you hunt good good pasture-raised beef and chickens and all that good stuff? Of course. Could you also gather fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, things like that? Of course. So it's basically eliminating sugar, dairy, grains, things that are inflammatory in our gut. Now the importance there, especially for the immune system, 70 to 80% of the cells that make up our immune system are within our gut. So if we have an unhappy gut due to inflammation, it will weaken the immune system. If you have a happy gut full of good nutrient-dense foods that are easy to digest, easy to become nutrients in your body to be used for fuel and for muscle building and all that stuff, it's going to be better for your immune system. Pretty simple, right? The second one, exercise regularly. Like regularly, not just once in a while. Exercise, like we said previously, is going to help move that lymphatic fluid throughout your system. You need that for a good immune system. It's just a part of how it works. So you need to be active. So if you have a sedentary job, make sure you're offsetting that with a lot of activity on your non-working hours. Don't go from the desk to the couch to bed, because you're pretty much moving like this much all day, or at least the minimum amount. So make sure you're exercising regularly. Make it a part of your active lifestyle, not just something that you do on the weekends or once in a while when we've decided we're going to go on a hike or something like that. Make it part of your everyday. Every day would be ideal if we're being realistic, and some things you need to phase your way into it. If you exercise at 0 right now, don't expect that you're going to exercise every day. Give yourself some chunks. Give yourself some milestones. Maybe you do 2 times a week, and then you go to 3 times a week, and so on and so forth. So that's number 2. Number 3. Number 3, stress reduction. Stress is going to decrease your immune function. It's just the way it is. So if you've got a ton of stress in your life, figure out why. Oftentimes it's something pretty simple, pretty basic, but we don't want to take the time to do it. What I've found, or what we found from a lot of our patients, is that something as simple as scheduling, for instance, is a huge stress reducer. I know we have to have some freedom in life and have some flexibility and have some spontaneity, but scheduling your day out allows for stress to come down. Living chaotically, running out of bed, taking off, figuring out what the next thing is, that's stressful. It can be chaotic. We don't want that. If it's something that's a work situation or a family situation that requires that necessary conversation, have that conversation. Can it be difficult? Sure, it doesn't have to be, but it can be. If you have to have those convos, figure out what the main stressor is and start to hack away at it, start to eliminate it, because stress will eat you up. It'll eat up your immune system. We don't want that. If you need some tips on on how to get to that point. If there is one or two stressful triggers, let us know. We'll give you some tools, things that we've picked up along the way to help reduce that stress. Number 3, rest. You have to rest. Rest time is so overlooked. We have crazy, and I think increasingly crazy days that we schedule for ourselves, or not schedule, we just live them, and they're nuts, and there's no downtime. So this goes from you as adults to the kids as well. We don't need to pack our kids' schedules full of things. Give them some downtime. Schedule in some downtime. For adults, give yourself some downtime. And that could be as simple as, hey, Friday, the second half of the day, we're doing nothing planned. We're going to stay home, maybe watch a movie. We're going to chill. Or don't have to go out and do a whole bunch of stuff. That downtime can be tremendous because it's going to allow your body to recover. You need that recovery. We all do. Sleep is also in that category of rest. If you're not sleeping well, talk to us about it. Let's figure it out, because sleep should be one of the most natural things that your body does. Especially if you live a busy life, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to just fall asleep like that, right? It makes obvious sense. You've done enough activity to tire yourself out, but sometimes we can't get that activity to stop, right? It just keeps going and going and going. There are ways to diffuse that, to deal with that. So clump that into your rest time and start to address that rest component, because we need to be resting appropriately every so often. Obviously, every day should have some restful times, but if we got to schedule in for like a chunk of time weekly, let's do that and talk to us about it if that's something that you need help with. And lastly, we have chiropractic care. So chiropractic care can give you a 200% boost in your immune function. And that's not just a number I'm making up. That's a legitimate study that was done not too long ago, and it still holds true today. So I'm actually going to give you more details on that in the next video, because we're going to go dive a little deeper into that realm. But know that your chiropractic care, if you're already getting adjusted, is helping to give your nervous system and your immune system a boost that will help keep a stronger immune function. So there are your 5. Eating a nice, healthy diet. We recommend paleo. Getting some rest time in. Exercising regularly. Reducing stress. And your chiropractic adjustments. Those 5 things will strengthen your immune system. Flat out. It will happen. So let's talk a little bit more about stress and what leads you to becoming sick in the first place. So oftentimes it's an accumulation of stresses. A common scenario we see all the time is one of 2. Let's play out the first one. Some emotional thing happens, whether it's something at work, maybe it's something with a boss or a coworker, something that is really emotionally stressful will happen in someone's life. And then immediately after, like the next day or 2, boom, they get sick. Why do you think that is? I think you know. The stress was so much that their body and their immune function tanked, and now all those things that are around us. So let's be clear on something. The pathogens, the germs, the bacteria, the viruses, they're always around. They don't take a break. They don't go away in the summer. They don't come back during flu season. They're always around. It's about our body's susceptibility to whether they're going to infect us or not. So that emotional thing happens. Let's say it's at work. And the immune function tanks, and then that person is sick. Well, do you think it was just that single event? I mean, it could have been if it was strong enough, but typically that's not the case. Usually there's been a buildup. Stress is like here, and then it's here, and then it's here, and then it's here, and then we have that argument with the coworker, and then boom, it goes even higher, and we tank. The other scenario happens pretty often as well is someone will come in, they'll tell us, hey, I hadn't worked out in a while, I had a really hard workout, and the next day I just got sick. I don't know why that is. Well, exercise, even though we've talked about that being a part of strengthening your immune system, you can overdo it. It is a physical stress to exercise. It's a positive stress in our lives, but it's a physical stress. So if you haven't done it, make sure you scale your way into it. Don't expect that you're going to go from 0 to a marathon, for instance, in a single day. That will take a lot of resources for your body to recover from. So again, in that scenario, there may have been stresses leading up, stresses in life that hadn't been addressed, that suddenly we add the physical stress of a hard exercise and boom, the body again tanks. That's why we say exercise regularly. When you exercise regularly, you're not putting your body into that mode of constantly having to fight to recover. It just knows that this is part of your active lifestyle. Recovery is faster. You're not quite as sore even. Your mobility increases. And you're not going to tank after a hard workout like that. So don't let that stress build up, because it will come to a tipping point and that's when you're going to get sick. We don't want that. Okay? So knowing that there are these proven ways to increase and improve your immune function, wouldn't you want to start to incorporate those into your life? And maybe you're already doing some of them. But the one piece of advice I want to give you is don't do it all at once. Like, don't try to add all 5 of those things you just learned about at one time. If you're doing already a couple of them, add the other ones. If you're doing 0 of them, pick one. The reason I say to pick one is because a new habit takes some time to ingrain into your day-to-day life. If you try to do all of them, well, you may do it for a week, you may do it for 2 weeks, but there's going to be a point where something stressful comes up, something unexpected, and your rhythm gets thrown off, and because they weren't already part of your day-to-day life, they're going to fall by the wayside. So pick one. If you need help choosing one, I'll give you a ranking of priority. If you already know which one you want to jump on, go for it, take action, and start to make these changes, because you will see an improvement in your immune function. Now, on the next video, I'm going to go over a strategy that you may not have even considered for how to consistently boost your immune function. We're going to go over that next time. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. See you later.